So what an alloy is, an alloy has more than one substance in it. So in other words, you have a big amount of something that's 50% silver and 50% nickel or 50% something else.
So it's like mixing Kool-Aid.
It's like mixing Kool-Aid. Like depending on, when you get a gold ring, 10 carats, 24 carats tells you the composition of it and how much is in there. So this is 50% silver, it would be 50% something else. And the other one is 25% silver, and the other 75% would be something else. Now you need to mix it together so that 40% is silver. We have to decide what X and Y are standing for. So if we make X the 50% alloy and Y the 25% alloy, instead of using X for the artist and Y for the raven, right, that would be problematic. But now X, we have to use a certain amount of this. So I'm going to just put a G in brackets here to make us think that we're thinking about an amount in grams. And in total, once we put X and Y together, it has to weigh 625 grams. So that is our first equation. Now our second equation, we have to somehow use that there's a 40%, 50%, 25%. So our second equation, we're going to think about the silver content. Does it make sense in the end, the silver content of the final thing, it's 625 grams, but only 40% of that is silver. So whatever 0.4 times 625 is, that will be how much silver is in the final.
So 0.5x.
That'll be how much silver you get out of the first sample.
Plus 0.25y.
Has to equal 0.4. Now we have some decimals here. We could either multiply the first equation by decimals and get more decimals, or you can multiply the second equation by numbers to get rid of decimals. Can you see that I could get rid of a 0.5 by doubling it?
Yeah.
Or I could get rid of a 0.25 by multiplying it by 4. I'm going to multiply everything by 4, so I get rid of all of my decimals. And we'll do a negative 4. Multiply this one by a negative 4, this one by a negative 4. 0.5, or half of negative 4. Oops, I'll rewrite my first equation again. X plus y equals 625. And now I'll have negative 2x minus y equals negative 1,000. Add them up. X plus negative 2, negative x, plus 0, negative 375. So if negative x equals negative 375, x is equal to 375. Now which equation would you like to use to find y, 1 or 2? First one. So 375 plus y equals 625. So y is equal to 250. Since it's a word problem, we'll end with a sentence. Just say what kind of is the mass of each. You would need 375 grams of the 50% alloy and 250 grams of the 25% alloy. A couple things to think about here. If you wanted 40% and you're using a 25 and a 50, does it make sense that you would need more of the 50? Because 40 is closer to 50 than it is to 25. So one thing to check with our answers, are we using more of the 50 than the 25? Yes, 375 grams versus 250. I multiplied the negative 1,000 happens when you do 0.4 times 625 times negative 4. Because 0.4 times 625 is 250, and 250 times negative 4 is negative 1,000.
That would take me about 10 minutes to figure that out in my head.
In your head?
And then I could slowly solve this.
Okay.
That's why he killed me.
So here's your homework assignment.
Sticky note me, please.
Can you, like, I don't know, have like question 3, and that's it?
And I have a special assignment just for Alex.
1 plus 2 equals 3.
Okay.